Oh my gosh. Hi, guys. My name is India. I'm here with Ed Connect, and we're at Seat of Excellence Christian Academy. And today we're doing a parent workshop, and we have a guest speaker. Her name is Anastasia, and she's here to tell you guys the differences between pre K and elementary. So stay tuned and stay Ed Connected. Bye.
All right, so what we want to talk about first are some of the differences between pre-K and elementary school. So one of the first things is environment, right? We're transitioning from what is known as like a play-based environment to like more structured learning. So in pre-K, or for some folks in like in the daycare setting, I know for like us, my children, my son was in a home-based small daycare since he was born. And so he went from that to going to an elementary school that has like 700 kids, right? So it was a huge transition just in terms of the environment. So, and even as a parent, for me, like I used to hand my child to a person, like as I went into her home, and now having to like walk through the park, like the car, or like navigate the carpool line, and I can't like go back into the classroom with the child without an appointment, and all these things that I feel like are appropriate, so I don't like disrupt the school day, but that changes. So sometimes, you have you're going from a smaller environment to a larger one. You're going from one that has a lot of like play-based activities to one that has like more structured learning. Like there's a time for this, there's a time for that. Additionally, um, one big change is naps, right? Like children are used to taking naps for an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, and then they have to go to big school where naps are no longer a thing. Now, sometimes the kids are happy about that, but yes, but it can be a big adjustment for them emotionally. In addition to that, well, we'll go into expectations, but the curriculum changes too, right? So there's an increased focus on literacy, numeracy. Another thing is there's an increased focus on writing. Up until that point, children are drawing a lot, right? They're drawing pictures, they're drawing scribbles, and now they're having to start to transition into writing that is more structured and more formal, and that has to start communicating language, right? And so, for my son, one of the first things that we got home from school was the line paper that had his name on it, and he has to write his name day in and day out, and that's something that we do. We were already practicing those things, but now it's like homework. So there's more formal routines. The school day in some cases is longer, and there's higher academic expectations. For example, in pre-K, or in pre-K, your child is working on sight words, on learning their alphabet, and we're talking about this in the state of Georgia. This is not applicable in every place, but in the state of Georgia, education is not even mandatory until first grade. So it's not compulsory until first grade. So sometimes there's situations where a child doesn't necessarily even have like a early childhood education like experience at all, and they go until first grade. Yes, and then they go into kindergarten or they go to first grade, and there's a huge difference between just a play-based lifestyle and like structure and expectations. Then finally, there are different social dynamics in terms of like uh, making friends, collaborating, again, following instructions, those multi-step instructions that you were talking about. Um, and, you're meeting new folks or the kids are meeting new people. And some, like my youngest child is very friendly. He does not meet a stranger. He'll walk up and hug and talk to anybody. My oldest is a little bit more shy. And so moving from an environment where he's been with the same kids since he was born into a brand new place, his transition was pretty smooth. But as a parent, I had some anxiety as to how he was gonna do. So is there anything else that comes up to mind, like that you may think about, like what's the difference between early childhood education and elementary school? I think from a parent standpoint, even like the nap time, yeah, and adjusting to like what's it like when your child doesn't have a nap? Yeah. How do you adjust the schedule when they come home? Exactly. Sometimes you're tired, just kind of from that standpoint. I just recall like okay, when I pick them up, maybe they need to go to the park, yeah, wear it off a little bit, or have a snack. Just I think parents just kind of have to adjust to, yeah, understand how best to Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I know that was been a big challenge for me is like, after daycare, he would just come home and kind of do his thing, but now he has homework and he has like sight words. And so it's been an adjustment for me. Like after I get off work, I'm not off. Like I'm right back on in a structured way. Like reading to your child is one thing, kind of again doing that play based learning is one thing, but having homework sheets is something else. Right, yes. So we really had to think about like what our routine was going to look like. And we're going to get to that in just a second.